Hey everybody, I wanted to tell you a little quick story about a situation that we came across recently in our office. We had a client that went to a mortgage agent with a well-known mortgage brokerage and acquired a pre-approval from a chartered bank. The letter says specifically confirmation of mortgage loan pre-approval, and it shows the amount and it shows a rate hold for for a fixed term mortgage rate. We of course went shopping. We found an amazing place for them, made offer. We were prudent in the sense that there was a caveat from the agent who was being quite prudent with us and said, you need to get a finance condition for this client just in case, because there was some issues years ago, like 7-8 years ago. So we did that. We got the finance condition. We made a deal. The listing agent pushed us on the condition and we reduced it slightly in timing, but to our complete horror and shock, the company that had given them the pre-approval denied the loan, because evidently the person that did the pre-approval at this company, not the agent, not the mortgage brokerage, but the charter bank, didn't do anything with the file. They were given the full file, given all the information. They didn't even look at it. They just churned out this pre-approval. We nearly lost the deal. We had to renegotiate the finance condition to give us some more time to basically start over with other lending sources. So I always tell people, you have to get these pre-approvals done. You have to fill out the application. You have to submit whatever documentation needed. You have to be able to justify where your deposit's coming from. You have to be able to give accurate numbers on your salary, all those kinds of things. The tragic part of this process was that we did everything right, and this one person at this chartered bank was mailing it in that day, who knows. And not only did the rate not reflect what we ended up getting through a different lending source, but it was just like so ridiculously stressful. And we do our best to try and protect our clients, but when we're up against a bureaucracy that really doesn't care, it's exceedingly difficult. And it was a good lesson for me in the sense that trust no one, trust nothing, and make sure that you are completely prepared to have things, have things falling apart, but certainly if things don't quite look 100%, good, if they don't look, if there's the least shadow of doubt, then that's an alarm bell, and we have to follow up with that very aggressively. Because I think we could have gone back to this lender and said, hey, are you sure about this? Is everything, you're certain? Because they just flatly denied the application and said, sorry, too bad. And it was because, they would have been able to catch this denial criteria when we did the pre-approval. So it's obvious the pre-approval was not worth the paper it was written on. And it's absolutely disgusting what happened in this particular situation from one of our top banks in the country. anyway, so that's the lesson that I learned through this process. I always say that I learned something new in every deal, but certainly in this particular case, I learned that basically doubt everything and ensure that when things are given to us, they are properly vetted. Don't know how I'm going to accomplish that, to be honest, because it's the mortgage, it's the finance arm of the industry. So we don't really have a lot of access there, but certainly working with future mortgage agents and bank employees, we're definitely going to push back very hard. But this is a huge cautionary tale for all of those people that do the online, deal, type in your income, type in your liabilities, and it turns out this vague number for you. That's not a pre-approval. That's a guesstimate of what you could qualify for, maybe. So that's not the reason to go shopping, and it's absolutely not the reason to drop a condition in a bidding war and have to go firm on a deal, because that's how people get pushed into private mortgages, because they've gambled on whether they're going to qualify. They have been given assertions from a person or entity that's not done a thorough job in profiling their credit and their ability. So my opinion is the real estate and finance industry are severely broken, and we're basically at odds with each other, and it needs to change. I mean, we need to have legislation that requires financial conditions in offers, so the financial vetting is done. This nonsense with firm offers, it's immaterial. I saw property go up, and I saw property that was sold twice in 2 weeks this spring, because obviously because the deal fell through, and it was more than likely a firm deal, because it wouldn't have gone to a sold status if it wasn't firm, and the deposit was more than likely delivered, unless the paperwork was not done correctly. But regardless, we're not protecting our clients. We're not doing this job properly. This is absolute nonsense what's happening these days, and it's happening again. We're throwing properties up with bidding war pricing, $699, $799, $899, whatever, and expecting firm offers. And I've had clients, on the buy side, I've had clients come into offer situations where the listing agent and the seller literally say they will not entertain a conditional offer, period. So the idea that conditional offers are better, or condition-free offers are better, is a joke. It's not. It's a joke. It's not to be relied on, because we don't know, as a listing, as the seller, as a listing agent, we don't have any knowledge of the buyer. There's no, the buyer doesn't submit any documentation to us as the seller or listing agent. And yeah, sure, they have a letter from somebody saying here's what they can afford, and here's their mortgage, here's what their mortgage, maximum mortgage affordability is. That's all well and good, but I have literally a black and white example of when that document is not worth the paper it's printed on. So that's why deals fall apart. That's why people get sued, and that's why people get pushed into very brutal lending situations where they're taking first and second mortgages out immediately on securing a property, getting pushed into the private lending space, which is into the double-digit interest rates. So we need to fix this industry. I mean, it's a joke. You don't walk into the car dealer with with a document saying I can afford a $100,000 car, and they don't check your credit. I mean, this is what we do. So why is it that we're not doing it to protect people when they're buying $1 million house. It's outrageous. Anyway, that's my story. I would love to hear yours. Thanks.